Hello everyone, Jeremy J here. Today we're going to be talking about the Wii U and whether it is a successful console in general and whether it's actually, as many people suggest it is, failing currently in the market. With the next gen consoles coming out are on the way. Well, the Xbox One has already released worldwide. The PS4 has released in America, I believe, last week. So, there's a lot of competition for Nintendo. Nintendo have suggested that their console has a better lineup, and they said that even the launch titles on the Wii U were better than the launch titles of the PS4 and the Xbox One. So, do you guys agree with that? Because I know that the Wii U has been failing constantly. I mean, a lot of people have been pointing it out. They're just thinking, "Oh, this is an easy console to poke fun at." It's not been selling well, but most people don't actually know that the Wii U sold more units in the first 4 months of its launch than the PS3 sold in its first 4 months of launch, and more than the Xbox One. The Xbox 360 sold in its first 4 months on sale. The 4 month period being the launch window, which is when you can officially call a game that's released in that period a launch title. So, Rayman Legends, which is a massive letdown for Nintendo, was originally a complete launch title. It was going to be 100% unique to the Wii U. It was not going to be on any other console. And then Ubisoft were like, well, actually, I don't think that's the right way to get our game to be, to sell loads of units. And I think actually, I think we should release this on other consoles, and then they were like, oh well, it's not going to be a launch title on the Wii U, we're going to delay it a little bit longer. So they delayed it back until February time, and then it was like, yeah, it's not quite ready, we're going to add some features and we need to get the controls all sorted out for the other consoles. And it didn't even come out until a few months ago, literally. So it's came out almost a year after it was originally planned to come out, which is a massive blow for the Wii U. Well, it did sell a lot of units on the Wii U, nowhere near as many as it probably sold on other consoles such as Xbox 360 and PC, and so it's really not. It wasn't a good blow. It was a blow to Nintendo just in general. I think it really caused them to suffer in the long term. I think the biggest blow for Nintendo in general is the fact that the next gen consoles are now launching, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I'm going to pick up a Wii U because it's the new console at the moment." When it first came out, that would have been the time to sort of entice buyers into buying the console when there wasn't any competition. Now that there is that competition, there's almost a sense that, what's the point of picking up this console if I can pick up one that's got better graphics, other games that I want, and just in general, it's a console that I've followed for longer. Whereas the Wii U is more of a family console. It's not trying to compete. A lot of people were like, "Oh, its graphics are rubbish. Oh, it's not got any games I like." It's not trying to be like an Xbox One or a PS4. It's not trying to compete with those consoles. It's a completely different console in general. And the reason I think it's a more successful next-gen console is just because of its lineup. The reason that I would want to pick up a next-gen console would be for its lineup, not for the graphics, not for the capabilities. I have a perfectly fine working gaming computer at home, which I'm actually recording this video on now. So if I wanted to play a game with HD graphics, I'd buy it on my computer really cheap. I wouldn't pay out for a next-gen console. The only reason I buy a PS4 or an Xbox One is if a really good game that I really like the look of got announced for it. That's the only reason that I'd ever pick one up. And it's the same problem that a lot of people are having. People are like, "Oh, why are you picking up the Wii U?" Because the Wii U hasn't got a good lineup yet. And that's the reason it's not selling. When the Wii U does have a good lineup, it's going to rocket in sales, because a lot of good games are coming out on this console. You've got end of this year games such as Super Mario 3D World are being released. We've already had games like Pikmin 3. Nobody really picked up the console for that game. It wasn't really as much as a big hit as people thought it was going to be. And then next year we've got games like the new Smash Bros, we've got Mario Kart 8, we've got the new Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze game, which looks really good. We've got so many good games coming out on this console, and people are just going to start. I think this is what's going to slowly. This problem was a major issue when the 3DS first came out. Nintendo, I think it's a marketing strategy they have, and a lot of people criticised the 3DS at the time for not having a good lineup when it first released. There weren't really any good games. They were all third-party games from other companies that were like, "Oh, this is a game, this is a console that's got 3D. Let's just market our game into this console just to make some money." But a lot of first party games weren't coming out on the console, so there wasn't any actually Nintendo games on the console. It was all games like Asphalt A and Ridge Racer, they weren't really Nintendo games. They were just sort of games that have been on other consoles and thought, oh, we'll just put 3D in our title and get it on the 3DS. And now the 3DS has got so many good games on it. It's been the top-selling, console worldwide for literally the last 12 months. It's been phenomenal how it, especially since X and Y came out the other month. So it's been so many sales it's just risen by a huge amount. And I think this is what's going to happen with the Wii U next year, hopefully, if a lot of people see that it's got such a good lineup. And the price has also been dropping down slowly over time since it first came out. It's quite cheap now compared to the next gen consoles. It's a good £100, probably $150 cheaper, so it's quite a big difference. And it's not obviously trying to compete with those consoles. That's probably why it does have a lower price, to entice people away from those expensive consoles into the more cheaper family realm of games. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more comparison videos or me going on and rambling on about stuff, let me know down below. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.